The process was elongated and stressful, and with every passing month, it got more and more stressful. And there was an emotional, knowing that there was someone you could talk to, because I couldn't share absolutely everything with the team, right? Because I was trying to maintain them for the journey and keep their spirits high and keep them focused on what they needed to do. So if I needed to vent or like really worry about the worst case scenario, I couldn't do that with anyone inside the company. I had to do that with you, right? Someone outside, you know. So there was an emotional kind of vent or valve that I think was super useful. And then as we're going through the process, I think there was a mixture of decisions, like every single meeting with the acquirer, every meeting with a potential acquirer, you're thinking through who's on the call, what's their backgrounds, how do we play the call, how do we cover this problem, how do we cover this subject. All that thought is much more useful to think through someone who's done those kinds of conversations 100 times in the past, right? I was approaching every single one of those calls fresh. And I think when we discussed it, it was often the case that I might have already thought those things through and my approach might be the right one. And in some cases, your advice was, you're right, that is exactly what I want to do. And that doesn't mean that you weren't valuable, because otherwise I would have been second guessing myself for each of those. So even if we agreed on the approach, you were still valuable in that I could take my mind off of that and think about other things, right? If Doug thinks that's the right thing to do and I think that's the right thing to do, we're probably okay. In that case, I can focus on something else, which is not something I would have done if you weren't there. I would have been second guessing that as well as all the other things. So there's like a speed and a stress that were removed, I think, from having you guys on board. Like ultimately, if I was doing this again, 100%, I'd engage you guys again.